ban, for example, 2 hard breachers, the way that Lestream did against Empire just a couple weeks ago, it fundamentally changes the way that the attackers can play. The Soniqs will get the very first ban. Are we going to see a possible Maverick ban? No, they're going to ban Thatcher. And Thatcher was an integral part of every single push that 92 Dream Team had on Border. He's also an incredibly strong operator on Clubhouse.
Yeah, he's actually just, I mean, well, he is obviously incredibly strong anywhere. He's such a powerful operator. Having him gone is going to certainly hurt any attacking team. Hibana on Clubhouse is also a very powerful ban. That's going to be less drop-downs that will be opened up in all likelihood. It'll also force you into a Maverick and Thermite for pretty much the entire match for both teams, probably. I don't see many rounds where you're not bringing either of those, especially given the Thatcher ban. This is recoverable for the attack, both attacks, but losing a Thatcher and a Hibana is certainly a crippling blow. Mira and Echo as the last 2 defenders. So Mira is going to make defending Cash really difficult, as well as, well, not really difficult, but more difficult at least. And the same with Jim. Less influence on basement, but still will make, if you are trying to play aggressive on the bottom of main stairs, then not having the Mira is going to hurt that. Echo is just an annoying operator to play anywhere, so getting rid of him, or rather play against. So getting rid of him is going to be a boon for any attacking team. Now, operator selection coming out here. Buck is available, which you noted was not the case in the previous map. It's both hard destructors, as expected. Capitao being brought. Capitao is going to be very important in cutting off rotations, especially on this map. There are some key places you can put one of Capitao's arrows to just completely cut off rotation between the 2 sites, forcing people into blue. And if you have a line of sight into blue, you're cutting that rotation off by yourself manually, maybe through the drop-down. Then that is going to be a death trap for the defense. It's a common strategy here on basement to try and take Church Wall, especially if there's no Hibana. Try and take Church Wall, use the Capitao bolts to cut off rotation in the main hallway and by blue, or just one or the other. Then watch the other with actual gun from above and get some picks on the rotations that are going to be forced by the defense. So, I don't know. We'll see what actually happens, but there's a lot of options still for the attack despite losing a Thatcher and a Hibana.
Not really too surprised to see them starting downstairs on Church either. You ban out Thatcher, you're going to run the kite. That's just the way it works.
Yep.
Unsurprising. It's going to mean that a Maverick is essential here. It's also going to mean that you're going to have to try to maybe juggle which hatches you go after.
You can juggle on that kitchen hatch pretty easily just by vaulting up on the box. You can also put a mute jammer on the kitchen hatch, but it just, and then you, once the mute jammer catches something, then you use the electroclaw to delete it, and then pick the electroclaw back up before the EMPs come. But with Thatcher ban, that's just not going to happen. And none of this is necessary, according to the Soniqs, as they've pre-placed their electroclaws. So, yeah. I mean, they don't necessarily have to impact trick or anything with no Thatcher, but Maverick it's a viable substitute on dropdowns for Thatcher in some instances. For example, by Moto, I don't think Maverick's going to be able to open it up because you can put the electroclaw so far away that he can't see it.
I am a little interested if this was a smart move by the Soniqs based on, you know, the way that 92 Dream Team plays. They ban Mira almost every single matchup. So you know that they're probably not going to ban the Kaid. If that's the case, then you're free to essentially use the Kaid as best as you can. And despite that, there's ways around it. As I said, the Maverick is able to take out the hatch. That's exactly what happens in that main bar.
Yeah, so because you can't take out the electroclaw in any way, you have to invest much more Maverick into that instead of getting the electroclaw and thermiting it. But that's perfectly fine if you're an efficient Maverick main. You can still get 2 drop hatches with those with the Maverick blowtorch. It's just, again, you have to be efficient with it. So it's possible for Doodle to get another one. Rexon just creeping his way into blue. He might actually be able to get some picks here. Nice shot there by Drip. Long angle being played by Neptunes and an opportunity missed by the Legion. Less traps going to be in play here. Opening up prone level onto Church Wall is curious by the attack. It's actually going to hurt the rotation of potential in that hallway quite a lot if there's any defenders who can play this efficiently. But Doodle's doing a really good job of using these holes.
They don't really seem to know where the Sonics are located inside a church either, which is why they're kind of just firing on in as best as they can. Super's going to take advantage of that. But Tomas and Doodle are there with two of their own. Avian cuts down Doodle, just watching the door over by the bar fridge, with Ghost watching a door of his own. Two members of the Sonics will try to watch at least multiple entries in. C4 goes out from Ghost. He's going to catch Rexon. No! How does Ghost lose that fight? Oh my god! But Rexon ends up out dueling him.
So there are certain things that can happen throughout the course of a best of 3 that will set the tone for the entirety of the match. That first map was really, I'm guessing, disheartening for the Sonics, but that round was much worse. Not only was that a pretty one-sided affair for 92 Dream Team, taking that pretty handily, especially considering the operator bans, that's impressive. But on top of that, there were some seriously egregious mistakes being made by the defense, period. I mean, there's not much else to say. And that sort of thing, it really does set the pace for the rest of the match. That's hard to bounce back from. Something's going to need to happen on the side of the Sonics. Something, you know, spectacular if they're going to want to bounce back at this point. Because that just didn't look like a team versus a team. That looked like I don't know. It was a pretty one-sided affair. That's all I'll say.
How much do you think the nerves or the possible pressure
definitely
really just plays into Sonics right now? This is the biggest game that the Sonics, as well as the 92 Dream Team, have ever played. For the 92 Dream Team, they are now 6 rounds away from Pro League. Should be a return for Tomas, but a debut for the rest of them.
Yeah.
How much do your expectations fall short of the Sonics, the team that a lot of people had breezing through North American Challenger League this season?
Yeah, they absolutely are the favorite team in Challenger League for NA. They've got all the perks that everyone else doesn't have, and I think that is the problem. There's a lot of pressure that comes with that. It's not like, oh yeah, you're the favorite team, so you're sure to win it. It's, you're the favorite team, but you've been here before, you've done this before, and sometimes that pressure, it just keeps mounting and mounting, and you lose map number 1, and you lose the first round so spectacularly, it's not... But, I mean, it's all speculation. We could see a beautiful comeback here. I want to see map number 3. If we do get to it, it'll be Consulate. For now, though, Doodle doing his best to open up the wall. So you can open up the top and the bottom, and it breaks the reinforcement. There you go. Doodle has taken out one of those reinforcements, and it will be opened up likely by the Buck. Here comes Thomas with that Buck.
The Buck was banned last time around. Tomas will just be running the Buck with good diligence.
It's a really good way to deal with Electro Claws because they're not as predictable as the Bandit batteries. And here's what you were talking about earlier. Rexon taking out an Evil Eye. Why does Twitch need a buff? We don't know. She got one. It's pretty substantial.
That's very strong. And it's not even that that's very strong. It's that you've now used 2 tases out of 5 on one of those drones. And you've taken a pretty handy tool that Goddess and the rest of her team would have available. Oh, Avian almost getting drip. That 1 HP is all that it needs.
Wow.
Super a possible opportunity here now to get a kill down below. He sees one, and he'll take out Rexon. A beautiful shot onto the Twitch. That's a good one. It's going to leave Drip as well at 1 HP. Possible time for a reset, 1 minute left if you really want to, but both teams now finding themselves down 1 apiece.
I haven't seen a reset in so long, but it looks like it actually might be happening. I think Drip downed himself on the Electro Claw and is... Or no, it wasn't a deliberate reset. There's no one near him. He got down by the Electro Claw on the still persisting wall, and now his teammates have to rotate with only 40 seconds left. That's not fantastic.
They'll pick him up as the rest of the Sonics are just waiting to try and hold map control. Super's down below, has not been spotted. You also have Ghost right now sitting inside of construction. Also has not been spotted. Neptune's playing by this bathroom wall. He's going to lose some of it, playing by the reinforcement. Shotgun out. Oh, he just finds them lying down. 2 kills for the Sonics, looking for another, but Tomas will be able to win the fight against Neptune. Still an advantage that favors the Sonics. With the body down below, Goddess will find Tomas looking the wrong way. And while Hyena takes out Ghost, he's going to just need to pull out any goo mine in his foot. But no, I'm going to take it out by Goddess again. A big 2 rounds, or big 2 kills in the final round of Goddess.
Yeah, Goddess, whenever she's allowed to play these angles like this, just absolutely shreds her opponents, and that's what we just saw there. Beautiful job from her holding it together, the glue of that team in that round in particular. There was some pretty great stuff there from the Susquehanna Soniqs, and it all started, in my mind, with Super coming from the tunnel. That pick was beautiful. Surprised that Rexon left himself exposed to that angle. It's a very common angle to play for defense late in the round onto Jacuzzi balcony. But it did happen, and Rexon not being there, lots of frag power just gone for 92 Dream Team. They got the wall open, and they had the attack going, but it just didn't look right after that. Dream Team started giving away picks and had no real actual push. Now, they didn't have a push. It didn't seem like they were trying to accomplish anything at that point, just playing to take fights.
Nobody from Dream Team really seemed to have any information as to where the Soniqs were either.
Well, that's something we haven't talked about a lot, is that while, yeah, Soniqs has had good droning, who hasn't had good droning through the whole match?
Dream.
Yeah.
They've been winning heads-up gunfights based on instinct, I think, an awful lot. And when they get counter-droned, then they understand that somebody might push them, so you just go for broke.
Yeah.
You go around a corner firing, but...
And you could say a lot of respect to Dream Team for being able to just win fights. But yeah, it'd be cool if there was a little bit more information gathering from Dream Team. I feel like that would definitely pump them up as a team. One thing I was thinking about earlier is that the attacks that we were seeing on Border looked a lot like... the efficiency level was near to like Empire. But what wasn't there was, and this is really key, information gathering. It's like there just wasn't any. The reason that the armory attacks are working so well for 92 Dream Team is because you don't need to information gather. You clear CCTV, which is very little drone work, and then you open the armory wall. And because the enemy wasn't playing underneath, I mean, what do you need? Just attack. You're done. So it's like we're seeing some great top tier 1 efficiency here from 92 Dream Team, but they're just missing parts of like basic attacks.
They've fallen off the Kaid here as they defend over on the cash side as well. That was 2 rounds with the Kaid, and I think they've come to the determination that he wasn't the most, I guess, useful tool for them this time. They're going to switch to the Bandit instead, which is Super on the Bandit instead of Avian, who was playing him for most of the previous game. You've got Avian now on an anchor role alongside Goddess, who's likely going to be on an anchor role through most of this game. Or support if you're looking at attack as well.
I mean, the Bandit at this point is probably just a comfort pick, because the way that we've been seeing 92 deal with these walls, it's just the Maverick play. And the Maverick play is not counterable by Bandit batteries or Kaid Electro Claws. So, just going to be a nice MP7, 3-speed, typical stuff. You know, you get those German operators sometimes just to frag, and that will be a comfortable spot for Super to find himself in, assuming he can make it work. This is dangerous for the Capitao. He's not repelling on the bottom, he's repelling body exposed on the top, and that's definitely not an easy angle to play.
This garage pressure now that's coming out from 92 Dream Team. You might not know where Neptune's is down below. There's still another body as well from the Soniqs who are up top. It's Goddess who's playing there right now. She's been shaken off of her post. She's got an ADS next to her for some good measure. The drone goes in and she'll take down the barricade rather than the Capitao. The one thing that you'll see from Drip with that para, though, is that he's not going to have that immense amount of bullets that he'll possibly be able to use to tear through anybody in his way. Scare off the push down below there as now Drip will use one of the asphyxiating bolts and just miss out on getting Avian when Neptune's down below as well. But Rexon gets 2 kills, he walks right in. It's all Dream Team right now, nothing but net, 4 kills to leave Super off site to possibly try and get back. It's going to start off with Doodle, head towards the garage, get aided by a grenade from Tomas. C4 goes on up, but there's a diffuser down, and Super's at full HP. He'll make his ascend up the red stairs. And once again, I would imagine that the Dream Team is going to practice very good patience. They'll just sit and wait and try and see where Super can get to, possibly to the diffuser over by B. There's a tase, but he's getting shocked from the Twitch drone of Rexon. They're just playing with their food at this point. Multiple drones that have been saved up from 92 Dream Team will now come out, and Super will get punished by Rexon. 3 kills for Rexon on that round.
You know, again, really weird, because we saw 92 Dream Team just kind of walk into sight. You said it in the middle of the action there. Rexon just decided he wanted to be in sight, and so he trotted on in. The hold in garage was non-existent, almost, it felt like, from the Soniqs. We had a dock in there, but he didn't really accomplish anything. Soft wall on one panel of the garage, reinforced with bandit batteries on the other. Little to no support from his teammates. And why? Because the wall's already opened up. No rotation potential. So the dock decides to stay in there. He gets picked off. garage control in the way of the attack. From there, it was just, I mean, it was a pretty easy launch straight into the site. We might have seen something different if, for example, Amira was available, but since she's been banned, I don't know, it's really interesting the way that round ended up playing out, but one thing that really stands out to me personally is the lack of presence on server that we had from the Susquehanna Soniqs. It's just disheartening is the word I would use. And it's the same problem that they had on Armory defensive border. It's identical. You know, it's like you know where the attack's going to come from. You know what you're going to have to confront, but you're not bringing the tools to confront it. A nice try, though, from Soniqs. I mean, they did bring a Bandit to try and C4 from below, which was, you know, a good idea. But since it was the only thing that ended up being between the attack and winning that round, it ended up not mattering at all. So we'll see what can be made in terms of adjustment from the Soniqs this time around. They have brought a Pulse instead of a Bandit. They realize the batteries are kind of redundant. And instead they're going to opt for the heartbeat detector on that C4 from below. I think that is sensible, but I also think, again, it will probably be countered by 92 Dream Team. The garage left fully unreinforced this time, and there's no presence in garage either. This is huge! Rexon just gets to walk into garage with absolutely no contention whatsoever. How does... It seems to be the strategy from Susquehanna Soniqs, but that is going to be, I think, really bad for the defense.
This must be either a very retake-heavy setup,
or
it's going to be a full construction defense for the time being.
What?
I mean, but you've got castle barricades lucky to slow down their advance. It's not going to be there this time because they're all just completely absent. So you've got many bodies far back on red stairs. You've got them over towards the cache side of things. But this looks pretty good for the time being. Now, mind you, things aren't always as they seem. This could be a trap that has been laid out by the Soniqs for the time being. And given that there's a pulse on the board, there's probably some information that's being given about the whereabouts right now for 92 Dream Team.
That seems to be exactly it. We've got reinforced walls and castle barricades downstairs. Oh, Rexon coming close to death. But yes, lots of presence downstairs. You can see that Doodle's doing his best to deal with that using the Maverick. He's got the C4 from the Pulse. He tries to pre-fire that Pulse. Going for another torch. He's exposing himself simultaneously, at the same time rather, as exposing the Pulse. So this is not exactly easy for Doodle to do, but he's managed to distract Pulse at the very least. Rexon walking into sight, and he has a lot of control here. No counter as he pushes into Cash, but he gets shut down by Super. You see Hyena coming up from behind, able to take down Super as well. So good back and forth here that it seems the Soniqs are coming out on top of, and they still have presence downstairs.
This is pretty incredible. This gambit from Soniqs working really well. You can see the hesitation for the time being of 92 Dream Team to get on in, but I think Hyena knows he can go for the plant down below on the pulse sensor. That's Neptune's trying to give information as best as he can. Hyena will fall off and he'll dive right back in, but there he goes again on this pulse sensor. He'll fall off. Nitrocell goes down, but down below Doodle dunks on Neptune's. This is control from above. Goddess next in the line of fire as Hyena will now go back onto that diffuser with Doodle watching. Anybody who possibly pushes out could be doing so to their undoing. Tomas holding the other angle. Doodle picks up another kill, but Tomas can't pull the trigger fast enough. Diffuser goes down successfully, but there's Goddess. She takes down two, setting Doodle up in a beautiful position in a 1v1 against Goddess. Very low on HP. They might not know that Doodle is inside a garage waiting, but the mark's on the Goddess. She might just find her way in. What a beautiful play from Doodle. 92 Dream Team out of nowhere. Doodle, oh my God.
Absolutely beautiful round there from Doodle. He went from denying the pulse, C4ing from below, single-handedly, mind you, to then pushing into sight in the post-plant, well, rather, garage just next to sight, and holding the front line against every single one of the members from the defense that were trying to retake. A very successful retake, mind you, thanks to Goddess's efforts. Beautiful play there from Doodle, salvaging that round, holding it together for the squad. And man, I just you gotta hand it to the man. Now we have a 3-1 lead in the way of 92 Dream Team. On the second map of this best of 3, it seems like Dream Team are starting to run away with it. Remember earlier when I said, Parker, that as the Susquehanna Soniqs, if you want to bring it back, you need to have some miracle plays, you need to have something spectacular happen in order to get that momentum in your corner following the loss they had at the beginning of this match? Well, we just saw some miracle plays, but it wasn't on the side of the Susquehanna Soniqs. It was on the side of 92 Dream Team, and that is further solidifying this seeming route that we're seeing on the side of the Sonics. So it's unfortunate that the dice are rolling this way, but I think it's all thanks to the beautiful play by 92 Dream Team. They saw the bait, which was no garage control from Sonics. They took garage control. They expected the C4 from below. Doodle denied that C4 from below using Maverick. Any other operator would have struggled in that situation. Thermite's going to open the whole wall, which means you have no cover. Habana, same thing similarly, at least. Maverick opens up the wall. He denies the pulse while keeping himself alive. Then Doodle on the Maverick goes into the post plant. I mean, the round's over. Just a beautiful play overall from 92. Now we're going to be going to Gym, which is the only site that Susquehanna Sonics have managed to win. And already Dream Team using utility to clear out server.
Man. What a match this has been so far.
Yeah, really. I mean, this is... something I was thinking about earlier is like, this is Challenger League?
Don't say it like that.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No, I know what you're saying.
This is Challenger League, and you don't expect it because, again, we've been talking about how Challenger League has just been getting progressively better over the last year, I'd say. Wow! That's not supposed to be happening, Avian. Come on!
John Ackerley gets caught as he rotates, and it's Drip who capitalizes on that one. A very early pick onto the Kaid. Luckily, there his gadget should be down, as it looks like you've got at least 2 walls that have now been Kaid with that electric claw.
The wall is going to be opened up here. Now, last time Dream Team did get this wall opened up the same way they've done it here. They did it more efficiently, though, and they didn't lose Drip like that. Neptune's a great pick there to get the refrag after Avian died, unfortunately, at the beginning of the round, at least if you're a Sonics fan. Now, not a lot of time here on the side of Dream Team. And once again, they do look a little lost. We saw this from them the last time they attacked this site. Not a lot of clarity on the actual execution into the site here for 92 Dream Team.
They really struggled on knowing where every single member of the Sonics were. There was nobody really inside of construction to possibly contend with Ghost or Neptunes who's playing in there. It's Ghost in this particular instance. You have Neptunes playing inside of the bathroom. They're just going to press on in. Rexit has been able to just take up so much ground, but there you go. Swiftly shut down by Ghost, who sees him as he enters through the bathroom, or rather into the weight room. There's nobody who's going to be able to stop him at all. So you go back onto the drones if you're the Dream Team, but you don't have a lot of time to go. You've got 30 seconds, and you find yourself in a position where you just cannot crack this site for whatever reason. Will there be a difference maker this time, as Doodle's going to play around the doorway, trying to see if he can find the bathroom player for the Sonics. Oh no, he'll miss most of his shots, gets him down. 2 kills for the Dream Team, as it's both Thomas and Doodle. But there's Goddess. She was a hero on this site before. She needs to be able to do it again. But oh! The Dream Team will catch him from above. Tomas and Hyena, it's a slam dunk on that particular round, and everything seems to be falling in favor of the 92 Dream Team. Now up 4-1 with the final round for the Sonics on defense.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. This is already looking like a 2-0 victory for 92 Dream Team. But hey, one boon that Sonics might have is that they won't be too exhausted when they go against Rise in the next match, if that's the way that this ends up happening. Because this has been a pretty fast first match, and we're looking like a pretty fast second match as well, or rather map, I guess I should say, for clarity's sake. So unless Sonics has something to show us in terms of, I don't know, that last round, it didn't even look like Dream Team were well coordinated on their attack. The one big difference that they had was the player inside Workshop or Construction, which you noted as being lacking in the last time Dream Team tried to attack that site. Because Doodle was in Construction, he just denied so much rotation, able to take out the Legion, who was an integral part of the actual hold from Jacuzzi. He, as you noted, or as you all saw, was able to take down Rexin when Rexin pushed into Gym, and he needed to be able to continue to do that. He was setting up to do so. Doodle saved the round there for Dream Team getting just 1 kill. But, all that aside, it didn't look like Dream Team should have been able to win that, and yet Sonics still lost it. So, I don't know. They're going to go back to Gym. They know it's their best site. Smart play from Sonics overall, I guess, but
it definitely, I'm getting the vibe, at least so far through what we've seen, unless something dramatically changes when the Sonics go on to attack.
Yeah.
that right now there's this magic run. And if you know the 92 Dream Team, it's named after the U.S. basketball team that has probably the best assembled team, possibly in professional sports.
I mean, I have no idea.
All time. And I mean, it's a great name to really go under, given the way that they've been playing so far. Keep in mind that they were the team that only got into the playoffs because Toon Squad didn't have the better record between the two of them. And the 92 Dream Team, I think, ended up 4 points ahead. That's a win and a draw. That's all it really came down to. And since then, they've been world beaters. They took out Organized Chaos by a score of 2-0, and they are in a good position to possibly be able to do that as well to the Soniqs, the team that everybody thought heading into Challenger League that they would be the undisputed best team in the entire region. That really isn't proving to be the case right now.
Well, I mean, they have the biggest names, right? We talked about it, the pedigree on the side of Soniqs. Neptunes, though.
What a shot.
He's been winning that fight on the balcony so much. He's going to keep doing that. He's, in fact, doing more damage to Thomas. Even exchange there, but, I mean, Neptunes has the kill advantage, so really not that even. Thomas is going to go ahead and try and rotate now. Smart play, I think. Neptunes has just been landing his shots with that SMG on that balcony.
Open all this up, trying to find anybody that they can, but a minute and a half expired, a minute and a half to go.
Looks like one of those drones, unfortunately. Well, we don't know if that's Spectator or if it's his, but it doesn't matter. Here are the attacks coming in through Jacuzzi. Wall opening up from the Buck. He's being very cautious, which is actually going to cost him some skeleton key there. The further you are away, the less effective that skeleton key is at opening up walls. Well, I mean, it actually kind of depends on distance. Sometimes you get really close and it opens up smaller. Whatever.
The longer this timer goes down here, in this round in particular, and the way that the setup has happened from the Soniqs, it greatly benefits them. Even if there's an even numbers advantage, or there's no numbers advantage, or there's an even number count, this is really going to benefit the Soniqs. And Doodle, who has been so good, is looking for a kill of his own, but well, he's going to get it. He's going to get it on to Super. Very limited HP left.
How did Super lose that? That is truly impressive. Rexon knows Goddess has to be in office, sees the pre-fire, but not going to take the angle. Ooh, bad angle play there from Rexon. Seriously egregious. And Goddess will capitalize. Hyena, though, will get the refrag. Avian still inside a bathroom. Excellent place for that DMR to shine. He's going to take down Thomas. Down attacker inside a workshop, and here you go. Hyena, the last attacker. He's got a lit opponent, but Avian on full HP. Seems like it's still very winnable for the Soniqs. They're in good positions. Legion Trap going to hit the Thermite, and Hyena goes down. Here we go. Soniqs wins another defense on Jim, the only site they've been successful on.
And that'll be it for the Soniqs defense as well. So they'll swap sides and we'll see, has this just been an attacker-sided affair? That's the real question that I think needs to be answered here on Clubhouse. There have been some people that have speculated that Clubhouse is slowly becoming more attacker favorite, so to speak. So
I mean, the attacker-defender-sided thing just flops back and forth, and I think it depends on the teams as well. I mean, usually to me, it just kind of depends on the teams that are going into the match. I can never lock down a map as being purely attacker-defender sided. I mean, statistically, you can look at it, and yeah, you could say, oh yeah, it's got a 60% defense win rate. But honestly, again, it just depends. I don't know. For me, it just seems like Dream Team's been a lot more dominant. They've struggled clearly with attacking Jim. Dream Team have really struggled with attacking Jim. Sonic's setup on Jim has been pretty good. That last round, Super delaying AWD by Cash for so long. Beautiful. I mean, Super lost a fight he really shouldn't have lost, but he still delayed the Doodle for quite a long time. The delay was very important. It allowed the rest of the defense to shore up. The real hero on that Jim defense, every single round, has been Goddess. Goddess is always a thorn in the side of the Dream Team when the Dream Team is attacking through Jacuzzi Wall. And the fact that Dream Team hasn't once sent a player to just open the office drop down and maybe apply a little bit of pressure to Goddess blows my mind. But it's done now. We're on the second half. It's now Sonic's turn to attack and Dream Team's turn to set up a defense.
Are we going to see a run out here from Doodle? Is that what we're about to witness? Is he... Oh, not a run out, but instead of pre-fire, and he and Avian will tussle. Neither take a single point of damage, so you get the castle to run back to safety. But Sonic's advance will probably be impeded by all of these open doors and windows. They'll need a moment or two to be able to look at everything that they can. Both Doodle and Drip are lined up in a position to greet anybody who comes through the garage doorways. Here the Capitao put the Claymore down of Super, so Doodle will likely hear that and know that, well, he's not going to bother to push it.
Remember on the first map where we saw Dream Team get really passive on their defense after they lost that first round? Well, here it seems like Dream Team are trying to well, upset the understanding that these two teams have established by being aggressive and changing things up. The run out is caught, though, by Super. Bad timing. Is there going to be a second run out? Yes, there might be, but Super's ready, and he'll get another free kill. So, okay. I think after this round, DreamTeam's going to be like, yeah, maybe not on the aggression. Maybe it's a bad idea.
Things are playing out exactly the same, though, as Neptunes is able to get a kill for the Soniqs, and now it's 3 kills in a row for them to start things off. This is a great round, and one that they really, really need.
True.
This is big for the Soniqs. They need to be able to get their composure back, but oh no,
That's
Neptunes,
big.
that is not good. That's the second time we've seen that so far in this game.
Not from him. I mean, first time was what, who?
He appears to be a little confused.
It was Thomas, I think, the first time.
It was Tomas, yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Super's in a position to possibly get yet another. Tomas is going to run out. Oh no, you see
You see him?
You saw the crossbow! They don't lose the fight. They're just going to throw every single thing. That's the exception of Neptune's killing himself. That was a perfect round from the Soniqs. They really need this to be able to hang into this game.
I want to say all but one of those kills were outside of the building. Like, we saw a lot of just, I mean, runouts from DreamTeam.
I don't even think a single member of the Soniqs was able to get towards the site.
Yeah, no one got on the site, that's for sure. Okay, so I seriously hope, for DreamTeam's sake, that they just dial that back. Because remember, again, first map number 1, Border. When we saw DreamTeam on defense, their first round, too aggressive, they give away picks, they lose the round. Just like what we witnessed, but slightly less emphasized. After that round, DreamTeam, round number 2, defense, they tone it way back. They give away no picks, and the fighting starts with like a minute left in the round. We need to see, if you're a DreamTeam fan, you need to see DreamTeam start to dial it back, play passive, deny those picks to Soniqs, because as soon as Soniqs starts getting no picks, as soon as they can't get any manpower advantage, well, they really struggle. But if you just hand them kills, they're gonna take them and be like, yes, please, thank you, can I have some more? And that's what we just saw. I mean, Super was just holding that angle, gets 2 free kills. He almost got a 3rd onto Thomas if he was holding it.
There's a lot of mistakes from 92 DreamTeam, but
again, I don't expect
pretty easy for them to get capitalized upon from the Soniqs.
I don't expect DreamTeam to keep making those mistakes. I expect them to adjust.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll get even more aggressive. Yeah. And we'll go to a 4-4, and then we'll have an actual match here.
Well, we are scarily close to a direct mirror. We are actually exactly where we were on Armory. If you look at the rounds that have been won, they are all identical.
The Border.
Right now, yeah.
So, I mean, that was a cash defense, so... Okay, if we go full identical, then what we'll see is DreamTeam win 2 rounds here, 2 defenses in a row. Then we'll see the Soniqs win 1 more attack, and then DreamTeam will win the last round, putting us onto the match point, and that'll be it.
It's very similar strategies from these teams, as there's really only one defined way to be able to take this wall down with the Thatcher being banned. Doodle's going to lose his cam immediately that it gets thrown out. And not only will his position now be alerted to the rest of the team, but he's going to be deprived of that gadget moving forward.
That's the dangerous thing. Doodle lost the camera, and he didn't move. He's just going to be trapped here now that the attack is aware of his position. At most, he's going to be able to, I guess, delay the attack somewhat or distract them. But... yeah, his position known, he's just holding on to it. I'm curious as to why. I feel like he has potential to play C4 from below on the actual site, but he's just going to stick around here.
So you might be trying to do is, Vance coming back to the site is going to be cut off by that Claymore at the top of the main stairs. You still got half the round, though, to go. So lots of time if you're DreamTeam, lots of time if you're Doodle to be able to get back in towards the site, but for the time being, the Soniqs are just going to encircle. It's a bit of a missed C4 from Drip. They're a little too early, and it's not going to catch anything on the way down.
With still C4 in play here, Odd does have one by Bar, but he's not in a position to use it just yet. He might be able to use it if that drop-down in Workshop gets opened up, or if someone stands on the drop-down. Goddess is going to try and open up that Workshop wall, or construction wall. Mark's coming out here onto the A island, and that's going to be a pick from Avian. This Drip just kind of exposes himself. Unnecessary, certainly, as was his C4 earlier, and that's some bad play from the Bandit inside of Cash. With the server wall opened up, this is really difficult for DreamTeam to hold on to, and this defense is looking desperate as Neptunes takes down Thomas. Finally, seemingly trying to go for a flank, but it might be too late.
I don't know what you're going to have Doodle do at this point, because it's essentially a 5v2 on site. Doodle just got droned out as well, so he's going to try to rotate over towards red stairs. But you've got so many bodies for Soniqs that there's almost no way that he's going to be able to come back. But he wins the gunfight against Neptunes. He'll continue to move on over in that direction. Hyena gets felled by Avian, who's proven to be quite strong. Rexon jumps on in, but he can't do much about it. There's Doodle with 2 kills. C4 goes out, won't hit anything. Goddess being able to get that plant down successfully would be a major pain for Dream Team, but Doodle's luck is going to run out. Ghost will be able to shut him down, and there you go, that mirror. It's broken for the time being, and the bad luck falls on the side of 92 Dream Team, as Soniqs have now taken both attacks here on Cash. You got to imagine the Dream Teams will go somewhere else now for their 3rd defense.
Yeah, you got to expect that for sure. That Cash site really not working out for the Dream Team. It's pretty obvious. That seems to be the same kind of struggle they were having when attacking onto Gym, something that is insurmountable for that 92 Dream Team. I'll be going to Church here, bottom floor. For some, considered to be one of the best sites. For others, the 2nd best behind Cash. Seemingly, that was the mentality that Dream Team was going into, or had going into this map, but a little bit of a shift here. I'm expecting basement to be a little slightly more successful for Dream Team, as the Cash defense has been really poor on their side. And we'll be bringing no Kaid, that's curious. No Mute either, also curious. You can use Mute to deny the armory drop at the least. They're going to likely impact Trick. We do have a lot of impacts. 2 sets, very likely, potentially even 3, depending on what the smoke has. But lots of, 3 sets of impacts there. So that's a heavy denial on the armory drop. And they've already prepped the drop down for exactly that denial. So it's going to be Maverick likely to open up the drop down itself. I mean, yeah, Maverick can get 2 of these drops, and that's the impacts aren't a hard counter to that. So, I mean, if you really wanted to impact trick the drop down, you should have banned a Maverick instead of a Habana. But, hey, whatever. We'll see. Especially with the quantity of impacts they're bringing. They could just... Never mind, doesn't matter.
I don't imagine that we're going to see Drip play on site. I couldn't see that. I have a suspicion. There you have it.
Well, he's probably not going to, but there's still a lot of impacts.
Rexon is up top as well inside of the garage, so you've got 2 bodies that will need to be cleared out first and foremost. Exothermic charge is going to push Drip back towards the red stairs as he just sits and waits. Rexon will fall off with the call being made that, hey, they've got control. Possibly wait for a push through garage.
So it seems like the tricking isn't going to be the integral part of this round. It seems to be that the strategy from Dream Team is to keep presence off-site, and that's going to work out for them already, as the Jackal, the premier roam hunter, will get a pick, but Ghost fragging out as he has been through this map. Going to get the refrag as Drip with a really poor rotation there. Not checking the drop down first.
It did look like he was checking the drop down, but probably didn't see the Zofia at the same time, and then just, decided to scoot off instead. As you're a 3-speed, there are times when you can get away with that. It's not going to be the case in this instance.
So far, I mean, even trades here, but it's already looking way better for Dream Team as compared to the Cash defenses. Soniqs struggling to get that control, and despite getting that early pick onto the alibi, it cost them. If there are any more roamers for the defense, which there are not, then it might actually be great that the Jackal is gone. But since there isn't, everyone on defense playing site, it might not really matter in the end. The smokes are going to be the real disadvantage, the lack thereof, rather, for the Soniqs.
It's the bar hatch that's gone now, and I mean, with the Maverick, you're going to use that blowtorch on at least 1 of those 3 panels. Probably even 2 if you can do that with ease. Imagine that Avian probably can and save the other exothermic charge for possibly the church wall. There you have Avian working away at, no, that's the bar hatch. So this, there you have it. It was the stock hatch that must have gone in that case. And there you go. Yeah, that was the one that blew up, which is Neptune's now playing in this position. He's got a frag grenade primed and ready. It'll drop down, but cooked a little too soon. There's nobody there to receive it on the other side. Hyena's actually going to be in the line of fire, but that deployable shield is going to continue to persist for the time being. He's got Ghost staring right at his direction. 3 seconds to go, and you're going to have Tomas trying to anchor that down. Here the Maverick step into a goo mine as well, with Odd just playing the doorway leading inside of church. This is going to get calamitous, though, as there's 8 people still alive. Doodle takes down Neptunes, and this is a good opportunity now. As Tomas falls to Goddess, though, she's going to do her best to try and keep everything here. Hyena taking quite a bit of damage. Down goes Avian. Goddess trades that one off. She's been big. Hyena takes out Ghost, and then Goddess can't make it through the doorway, and that's finally around for the 92 Dream Team. After it was 3 in a row for the Soniqs. They took their last on defense, their first 2 on attack. But Church is where 92 Dream Team and their fans will hope that their comeback starts anew.
So here's the real question now, if you're a 92 Dream Team fan, is where are they going to defend next? Cache? Well, Cache has been very unsuccessful for Dream Team so far. Gym, it's also a site that could sometimes be difficult to defend, and while it worked for Soniqs, it might not work for Dream Team in the same way. So it seems like we'll be going back to Cache. There's not a lot of opportunities on Cache, to be honest, here, from what we've been seeing from Dream Team so far. Definitely a struggle. They don't have a whole lot of control, whether it be by garage or workshop. Every time Dream Team tries to play aggressively on either of them, they just give away picks. That just doesn't seem to be Dream Team's site. So we're going back here for a 3rd time. Maybe 3rd time's the charm, but things are gonna need to change for a lot of the plays that we've been seeing from Dream Team. For example, Drip playing inside of Cache. You don't need to rotate and give away a pick for no apparent reason, especially when you know that there's someone playing your angle inside of Workshop. He was well aware. He had to have been. The tracers were coming in. So the C4 as well. I mean, what's going on there? AWD, yeah, he did get a pick when he was coming up from the flank, but he's also the top fragger for Dream Team, and the only one really putting up frags here on Clubhouse so far with 12 kills. He's breaking away from the rest of his team.
He's been exceptional on both maps so far, and he's somebody who was a bit of a... How do we say this politely? He was the victim of Veli's 0-7 reference, I believe it was, at USN, and that was Doodle, who was not in the best form.
He was having a bad one.
He was having a bad day at the USN finals, and he seemed to have, I think, lived up to the hype that a lot of people had. And this whole team, actually, this whole Dream Team, if you could call them that.
The team that is Dream Team.
The team that is the Dream Team, the 92 Dream Team. Their fans are very boisterous, and they've waited a long way to see the legitimacy of a lot of this core. It was all started when Execration helped assemble most of this roster, and since then it's just been a really good showing for them. So,
surprised there was no capitalization on those tracers. Easy shot through the wall into the Valkyrie to get the kill, but 9... Oh, wow. Speaking of, Map2.
One-shot headshot through the wall.
Through the wall. Yeah, beautiful shot there, and Odd, the top fragger for Dream Team, goes down. So, okay, this is more of the same for Dream Team. What I was just talking about. You play off-site in an attempt to have some control to deny the push from the Soniqs, and you lose your top fragger in the first minute.
Who was there to possibly trade off Doodle? Who was there to possibly watch alongside him? There's nobody nearby right now, and the Soniqs are able to take full advantage of that. And because of this, they now have basically full control of the west side of the building. That's going to be over towards the gym and master side. But even though Doodle is down, you still got to hope that his cameras were good enough to be able to give intel for the team. And it sure certainly seems like that's the case.
This is a really dangerous play from Drip. He's trying to get an advantageous angle, but it's actually going to leave him exposed. And as he's droned out, he doesn't even see the drone, doesn't shoot it. Maverick sets up on the angle and narrowly misses the shot. The nade, though, is going to light up Drip, putting him on 25 HP. It's going to be difficult for him to trick this. In fact, he doesn't have any batteries. C4 comes out, and the wall will be opened up. So, not great play there for Drip yet again. Great execution, though, from Soniqs onto the construction wall to get that control. They've also opened up the server wall. Once again, the rotations are cut off. This looks like a death sentence for Dream Team on this site.
The only thing that's going to go in Dream Team's favor is it doesn't look like any of the info utility that exists, these Valkyrie cameras, the Maestro cameras, etc., none of them have been dealt with.
Sure.
So with the team that's as good as peaking as the Dream Team are, they just need to hang on and hold on to their hats, essentially, over the next 30 seconds. Still utility available for the Soniqs, which will likely come out very, very soon. But every single avenue that will lead in towards the site, for the time being, is being held by the 4 remaining members of Dream Team. But there you have it. It's a death sentence indeed. 2 from Soniqs will take out 2 from Dream Team. It's a down, though, for the time being. So Hyena just needs to hang on. 10 seconds left. Diffuser going down from Goddess, but oh, Hyena guns down. Neptune's looking for another, can't find it. Successful plant going down. The body of Avian's been dropped, so it's essentially a 3v2. This is still very winnable for the Dream Team, but it looks to be for the Soniqs. This is, gonna go in their favor. Goddess and Ghost are still up as Hyena and Rexen take out 2. They're gonna have to play from farther back. There's an ACOG on the board that could possibly go from a longer distance. It's gonna be Goddess that's gonna be first in line of contact. What will she be able to put together? They're going to have to bait somebody into going for the defuse, but they might not be safe at all. Waiting for her to peek. Oh, the pre-fire from Hyena doesn't connect. Ghost will finish off Rex, and we got ourselves a ball game. Tied up 5 apiece. Looked like it was going bad for Soniqs in quite a hurry, but they managed to recover at the very final second, avoiding that nosedive. And, well, we're going to need all 12 rounds to settle this, maybe. Our first overtime of the day.
If I was to give a piece of advice to Dream Team right now, it would be don't go back to Cash. Try to juggle it between Jim and, heck, maybe Bar, because Cash is really not working out for Dream Team right now. They have... everything Dream Team does on Cash is being really well countered by Soniqs. There was a bit of luck in that last round with the kill onto Odd through the wall. You gotta be honest, that was not just pure skill on the side of Neptunes, though good on him for going for the shot. You miss all the ones you don't take, but at the same time, overall, Cash is not working for Dream Team. I really hope that they're gonna go back to Cash. So we're going to Cash. 4th time's the charm here, screams Dream Team at the top of their lungs. It might be getting to the point that it's near hysteria because it's really not working. Hopefully, for their sake, for their fans' sake, it does here. We'll see. They've adjusted off a Bandit, and they're bringing a Kaid on Drip. So the Kaid, useful, I suppose, if you're trying to hold on to one of these 2 walls between Workshop and Server. Soniqs has been consistently opening both of those walls every single round, despite no Thatcher being in play. That's what we talked about with the Maverick being a good substitute for the Thatcher. It feels like I'm watching someone, you know, like bashing their head against something. I was like, oh, it's gonna work!
That'll be this time.
Yeah.
There's that one Pain Gaming matchup that I'll never forget.
The IQ?
It was on Bank, and it was when they were defending the CCTV downstairs, lockers.
Oh, and they
defended it 4 times.
And then they just brought like 4 or 5 C4.
Yeah, that was the very first time they just started bringing more and more C4. I don't think it worked, but...
Eventually, the C4 did work out. That's a cool little thing. It's gonna be hard to get that with a blowtorch.
Yeah.
Harder, I guess.
I mean, you still have the opportunity to basically tear away at the entire metal wall, and you
could still get it. It's just a little bit lower.
Very difficult for a Kaid to be successful on this wall if there's a Maverick in play in any way, because you can just cut off the metal and then buck through it, or sledge through it, or ash through it, or Zofia through it, etc.
It's difficult, period.
There's so many different ways. Now, here's the big thing. The focus that we saw on the last time that Cash was defended, it was Doodle playing aggressively all on his lonesome, and he got punished for it. Now, if you're playing as Dream Team, with how close that round came in what was essentially a 2v4, if you keep a couple bodies alive, you can hold enough map control around here, maybe put 1 person below, and you're in a good enough position that you can just wait and hope that Soniqs don't have enough utility to get to you in the meantime. There's not a lot of teams that when they're defending Cash and CCTV roam that far outside of the garage. The garage is usually as far as they get, maybe somebody
if you count it as roaming.
If you do, yeah. It's just an extension of the site a lot of ways, especially if you break open the wall. So for the time being, it doesn't look like you have that many bodies off-site. You have Doodle down below, but everybody else from Dream Team is just going to sit and wait. Drip, or Yardy, is taking a little bit of HP. Oh, what a call! As you can clearly hear that Doodle gets the information from his teammate, and down goes Neptunes and the frag grenades from Soniqs.
Sledge has been opening up that office wall every single round, and the call came out there from probably Drip that it was happening. It's like, hey, pre-place the C4. They open office wall before they clear construction. C4 down, and it gets a kill. Sledge gone is going to be huge. 2 nades eliminated, and look at the time.
And look at Drip, he's slowly bleeding out on his HP, but he's still existing for the time being. You got both your smokes here from Super, so no damage from those spreading, asphyxiating bolts. Rexon will take out Goddess, traded off immediately as it looks like Soniqs are going to go for broke to try and get on in. Avian making everybody pay in his path. He now goes for the plant as well. He's doing everything on his own, and it doesn't appear that it's been spotted out. Super and Ghost are there, and now it's all up to Doodle, and everything's fallen to pieces for Dream Team. Diffuser goes down successfully, and Soniqs appear to be able to take the lead. It all comes down to what Doodle is able to accomplish. He's going to have multiple people looking in his direction. He doesn't really have any information. You know there's one on Rappel to your right. He looks the wrong way, and it's going to be Super to finish him off. Soniqs will move themselves to match point. Our prevailing theory that maybe Clubhouse just happens to be more attacker favored between these two teams appears to be coming true. And Soniqs will will take their very first lead of the game.
I mean, you say that, but what I see is I'm looking at this, I'm looking at my notes here, and I'm saying, okay, cash, basement, cash. Maybe Dream Team doesn't know how to defend cash. Also, Soniqs is really good at attacking it. We've been seeing some excellent assaults every single round from Soniqs. What do? They open up the server wall, they put someone on repel, cuts off rotation, then they just go for a push into sight. In that round, they didn't feel the need to go for workshop because they were getting those picks. They had the smokes and utility to cut off the lines of sight, and they were confident that Dream Team were going to expect a rotation to workshop at that point. Dream Team was caught off guard by the aggression, walking into sight, Avian getting those entry frags, absolutely massive, going for the plant too. Avian had a stellar round there. But I think the big takeaway here is that Dream Team needs to go to gym. I know they couldn't attack it, but man, it cannot be worse than that. They're going to go to basement here as it's finally opened up. And if we see more of the same on what we saw the last time that the basement was defended by Dream Team, we should go to 6-6 right here. And that'll be, well, there you go. So, I mean, if that does happen, I guess we'll find out what happens in OT.
Here's the thing with overtime. In a best-of-3 setting, you now pick your sides for overtime. So 92 Dream Team did not pick this map, but they picked their sides, which means that the Soniqs picked their sides for overtime, and the Soniqs opted to go to defense twice.
Yikes.
Which means that you have the 92 Dream Team attacking twice. And so far, there have been 3 successful defense victories against 8 to the attackers. You obviously want to be the team that's going to be able to attack twice.
Which means that if Dream Team wins here, which if the record holds, they should win here. We'll go to 6-6. We'll go to overtime. And then we'll see the Soniqs go to gym defense, which they should be capable of winning. Then Dream Team will go to basement defense, which if they get to that point, then they'll have won every single time they've gone there. And then we'll go to the final round, but the Soniqs won't get to defend the only site that they've really had success on, gym, because they already defended it. And that should be a really long victory for Dream Team, but a victory nonetheless, if the record holds. But that is not something you can rely on.
No. That's all speculation, of course, because before that, the Dream Team has a task that has begun to get more daunting the longer this match has gone on, which is beat the Soniqs. This is the very first lead that Soniqs have had, period, in this entire series.
True.
It's coming at the perfect time, really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
And they need it to be able to push us to Consulate for our 3rd map. But until then, well, you're going to need to see what happens with this particular round. You've got Neptune's upstairs inside a kitchen. You've got Avian on the main floor as well, with Super doing drone work, and that's one of the hatches that will be gone, the bar hatch. The stock hatch was kited. It didn't look like there was any real presence from the Soniqs to try and take that hatch down.
This is really good information from this drone that Neptune's has deep inside of Armory, or Arsenal as some call it. And that presence of information is going to allow Soniqs to better coordinate their attack, whether they hit Armory or otherwise. They know what they don't need to deal with, and that's a player deep Armory. Or, if they do need to deal with it, they'll know that too. Ace coming out here to try and clear the barbed wire. It will be successful. You can get some Legion traps to boot. Gas canisters a little bit early here from the smoke, but coming down to the last 35 seconds, he's only got 1 left, so slightly ahead of schedule for the gas canisters, but better safe than sorry is seemingly the mantra here for Dream Team as they're getting close to being pushed into map number 3.
Everybody's still alive. That is the most painfully obvious thing, as Rexon is now under a lot of trouble. Avian has come alive in his own way through the second half, and they're going to rely on him, the Soniqs here, to be able to do good work. The legs of the puck are spotted, but Tomas will miss a second from Avian, as now Doodle falls. The Soniqs looking to put this one away. There's Ghost, and Thomas is going to go down too. It's all up to Drip. What is he going to be able to do? He can't stop Goddess, but Super shuts him down. The Soniqs take the map. We need a 3rd map between these two teams, because of course we do. The Soniqs, when they needed it the most, they show up big, and they dominate the second half. They give 92 Dream Team 1 round on defense, and we're going to need Consulate to sort this one out between these two teams.
So, Avian, the real star of the show there for me in that second half, as you stated, in the middle of that round, it was really him coming alive, getting a lot of those entry picks in the first, or the last 2 rounds specifically. The last cash defense, it almost seemed like 92 was going to be able to finally make it happen on cash. And then Avian And then on the basement, I mean, basement should be a defense win for 92, given their past record. But Avian getting picks in blue, following that up with some substantial pressure into Church and Armory, simultaneously getting those picks as well. I mean, great job to the Bird, and well-deserved victory there for Soniqs, bringing it back. So I'm personally happy that we don't have a complete sweep like we were seeing or expecting out of the first half of Clubhouse. It was a 4-2. It just looked like Soniqs had just weren't there anymore. Suddenly, we switch over to the second half, and I mean, 92 Dream Team can't get a word in edgewise.
I wonder how much of this stems from the very first defense. The very first defensive round that we saw for 92 Dream Team was when 3 of them ran outside at various points in the map to try and take out somebody from Soniqs.
True.
I understand that you find yourself in a position where you're up 4-2. You think to yourself, we just won the first map. We're probably going to win this one now too, boys. Let's go get it.
You know, it is quite literally the difference maker between a Pro League team and a Challenger League team sometimes.
Yeah. And sometimes Pro League teams will do that as well. And we've been critical of that in the past, where a team goes with an unorthodox site, or they go with a very aggressive strat to try to catch somebody off guard, and they end up blowing their own momentum, essentially. And if you look at the way that these teams play when they play seriously and they play tighter, well, a lot of these rounds still went for the Soniqs, but the 92 Dream Team looked better in a number of those rounds. So that speculation as to what's going to happen in Consulate, well, you're going to need to take a little bit of a break, because the boys need a break in order to go to the bathroom and do the things that you need to do. Go grab some drinks, go stretch your legs, etc. We'll see you in a couple minutes to end this exciting matchup between these two teams.